So today I'm going to tell you ways to get a sprained ankle out of pain and in better motion as quick as possible. First off, I just want to show you my ankle. This is Wednesday. So I had a pretty severe ankle sprain on one of my toddler's toys. I was coming down from the garage, stepped down on the toy while the lights were off, and had a complete inversion sprain. I was in intense pain. You know, we didn't know if it was broken with the coronavirus. So we didn't want to go to the ER. After about Sunday, I finally had the courage to start walking on it, and I could finally start walking with it without too much pain. So generally, if you can walk more than 3 steps, usually you can rule out a fracture, but of course, always ask your healthcare provider. So I just want to show you in a typical ankle sprain, ways to get the tissue moving as quick as possible. There's a thing called Davis's Law. Basically, what Davis's Law states is tissue molds against the force that is pressed upon it. So what that means is if you get an ankle, you know, in a boot and it stays in that boot, that tissue forms around that joint. So it's very immobile and it stays in that position. So when an ankle sprain, you want to do a couple things. Is first you want to get motion, as much pain-free motion and range of motion as you can. And everyone knows about the old saying about the rehab up here. So I have rise and I have crossed that out. So the new term I want to introduce is mice. So basically what we've done, if we remove the R and we put the M inside, so the M is now movement. We want to restore movement as quickly as possible and as conservative as possible. We don't want to be causing more pain. If there is, you know, if you do have a grade 3 sprain, I might actually have a grade 3 sprain, but I've been through this before. You need to take it easy and you don't want to cause any, you know, extra pain. So take it easy. Today I'm going to show you a few exercises that I'm doing in the acute phase. So we're just going to focus on range of motion. So I'm going to show you a traction exercise that feels really good on the ankle joint. I'm going to show you a few motion exercises and some dorsiflexion. If you have any questions, always feel free to reach out, and always reach out to your healthcare provider before trying a new exercise routine or rehab routine. Okay, so for the first traction move, I really like this move because it feels really good on the ankles. I use a jump stretch band. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my foot like this. I'm going to wrap the band around like so. And I'm just going to, hopefully y'all can see that, I'm just going to pull back. So really feeling some traction through the ankle joint. I'm going to move that there. And I'm going to hold this for about a minute. Now, what this is doing is it's getting some more motion through that tibial-fibular joint. It's allowing some space to return, allowing those tissues to turn. Sometimes while I have this traction, I will just do some simple motion like this. Okay? Okay, so now for my motion, I like the TheraBand. You can find a band like this on Amazon pretty easy. And so what I'm going to do is just some simple motion as far as I can go. Some recommendations that people do are the ABCs. You try to make the ABCs with your big toe. And you're just trying to get some motion back in the joint. So back to Davis's Law, tissue is going to form in the stress that is placed upon it. So if we can get some early motion through this joint, when this tissue heals, it'll hopefully heal in a more functional type pattern. Okay, so the last move I said was dorsiflexion. So dorsiflexion, we're going to take the band like this. And what I'm doing here is I'm just moving forward. Now my ankle's really stiff right now. Hopefully you can see that. So I'm just going forward. The band is providing a little bit of traction. And I'm just trying to get my knees over my toes. And I'm feeling a pretty big stretch through my ankle right now because it's pretty swollen and pretty tight and tender. So I'll do this 10 times. Sometimes I'll play with the angle. And you can do this a couple times per day. So another thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use that lacrosse ball. So lacrosse ball, it's just going to get the tissues around my plantar fascia. So I'm just going to work this back and forth, up and down. And also you want to make sure you're working the tissues around the ankle, not just the ankle itself. So the calf and the Achilles, I will use this. So just work on these tight, tender nodules. You can also use a foam roller. Like that. Good. Okay. All right, so the last one I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna try to restore some motion back through the calf, through the ankle. So this is a pro stretcher. I got this on Amazon. You don't have to get one like this. You can use a step or a stool, but I like this one. It just feels better. And I like to use a shoe while doing this because there are some hard ridges of plastic on this piece, so it does hurt barefoot. And so right now I'm feeling a pretty big stretch in my calf. And that's pretty normal after an ankle sprain. You're getting a lot of compensation throughout your tissues. So some areas are getting tighter. And I'm going to do both sides usually. Now here's the other stretch without the pro stretcher. Just using a step through here, okay? So this is just getting mobility back to the tissue. Eventually, once my ankle starts to feel better, I will start to incorporate more strength and balance training, more proprioceptive type work, which I'll probably show in the next video series. I've been through this, unfortunately, a lot of times, had surgery on both ankles. And I've treated several hundred patients with ankle sprains. So this is what I do, but of course, always ask your healthcare provider before starting a new rehab. Exercise, always good to get, some eyes on your ankle. If you have an injury, if you're not sure if it's broken or if it's just a sprain. So always reach out to your doctor first. Thank you.